Endless Multiverse, episode 15. Endless Multiverse, episode 15. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Endless
We
Multiverse.
just gave up.
Welcome to Endless Multiverse, episode 15, everybody, with Chainsaw and Andy. And we have a lot of things to talk about today in regards to CW Upfronts, She-Hulk trailer, and a little surprise that dropped yesterday, Daredevil. We have a lot of things to cover. Welcome to the show. Andy let me know that apparently my camera was freezing. I'm not noticing anything. Maybe some of you will notice it. I don't know what's going on. It says my connection's good. I don't know. So we'll see what happens here.
It could just be on my end. But hello, everyone. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. It's if I seem a little more mellow than usual, I have slept maybe 17 hours this week. So I'm here. I'm definitely here.
You're here.
I'm reading through my notes that I have saved, but I'm also not completely here either. So just
you're also not completely here.
Yeah, I'm not completely here, but so be patient with me. But we're gonna go for some quick super chats because you guys are so awesome. So first of all, Jon Snow rules with the two. Thank you so much. Stranger Things season finale is over 2 hours long. Jordan, how are you feeling about that?
So we're getting a movie.
It's basically a movie.
Yeah. I'm tweeting this out now. We are live, everybody. Cool. We are live. Okay.
So awesome. Good to know. Jennifer, you beautiful soul. Thank you so much. Feel free to ask us something when you send in these super. We don't mind. We don't mind it. Multiverse. Well, yeah. My back is still. I'm almost back to normal now. So, soon I will be joining in on the dance. Jon Snow again with that on the super chat. Do you agree with the complaint of She-Hulk?
We'll get into it.
Yeah, we'll definitely get into it. But I will say definitely right now, yes. Visually, I have an issue, but we will talk more about the story about the zone. But ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna talk CW Upfronts, which first of all, we know who has to start off the show, right?
Yes, I mean somebody who has appeared on the CW and has appeared in some places. Sir, start the show.
All right then. On with the show.
I
cannot stop. I do as soon as he does it, I just say on with the show. So okay, guys. So I've been working all week, and this is partially something I've been working on. So if I my Asperger is all over the place, so I'm gonna have a lot of overlays and pictures today. But first, we're gonna go through the CW schedule that was announced yesterday, and so let's take a look at it. It's very different for sure.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah. For once, the graphics came through. So, some significant changes. Tuesdays at the Winchesters, the upcoming Supernatural prequel, is coming to the CW at Tuesday at 8/7 Central, followed by The Professionals, which stars Doom Patrol's Brendan Fraser and my bae, my husband, my crush since I was 7 years old, Smallville's Superman, Tom Welling, and they're back. And finally, because this show they filmed this over a year ago, and they didn't have a platform initially. So, but now Tom Welling is back on the CW, which is gonna be fun. And we're gonna have one DC drama this fall. And DC Stargirl has finally been slated for the fall on Wednesday at 8/7 Central. We're taking over for the Flash, and for all fans of Kung Fu, you will be getting season 3 this fall already on Wednesday at 9/8 Central. Thursday is all about the Walker universe. We're gonna have Walker at 8 p.m. and followed by the new spin-off, the prequel series Walker Independent, starring Arrow's Cat McNamara, aka Mia Queen Smoke, Green Arrow. Fridays, nothing that I think none of us are really watching. So Mondays is it's the All American Universe, All American at 8 p.m. followed by All American Homecoming at 9 p.m. Now, what is being saved for mid-season? It is Flash Season 9, Supernova Season 3, and the new DC drama Gotham Knights, and everyone behave today. Everyone behave now. I worked very hard on these
overlays. Yes, you did.
So,
yes.
Let's go back to the schedule.
Okay.
I think the only thing that we can talk about is Stargirl, and we know not coming back in the summer, sadly, now in the fall instead. But fall could still be August or September. It may not necessarily be October, but October is usually when they do stuff for
Mhm.
their new season. So, what do you? I mean, overall about the schedule, do you like it? Is there something else you're gonna check out here that is on the slate?
It's interesting for sure. I think having Stargirl starting in October is interesting for sure because we're used to that being Flash, Arrow, Superman, Lois, Supergirl, Batwoman. Like all these shows had a traditionally October start. So it's interesting
Mhm.
how Stargirl is taking that because I really thought they were going to announce that Stargirl was going to start airing in June or July or something, not
Mm.
wait till October, but maybe they wanted to hold it off. It's interesting too because now we have to hold off that it gives them more time to decide if they want to do a season 4 of Stargirl instead of having to make a decision over the summer if it started airing hypothetically in the summer like seasons 1 and 2. In terms of everything else, my wife actually mentioned today she would like to start watching Walker, which obviously she knows what Walker Independence. Interesting, I just now noticed this too, is that All American Homecoming is back to back. Then we have Walker and Walker Independence back to back. So they're going to have
Yeah.
those two universe separate. I was like they're separate universes, but those shows airing back to back in that way. And Kung Fu, I watched the pilot a couple weeks ago when I was traveling, and I haven't gotten to the second episode of season 1, but I thought overall, I thought it was a pretty decent pilot. So it's good to see that that show's still going. It gives me a potential chance to catch up on it and see what's happening on that show because apparently, from what people have seen, apparently it's pretty solid. But everything else, I really don't recognize. I mean, Whose Line Is It Anyway? I grew up on Whose Line Is It Anyway? But this new iteration, it's okay. It just it's not the same. But it's interesting how they're really pushing some of these newer stuff, which is good. I think the network needed to switch it up and add some more variety of stuff. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I for me, I like that. Sorry, I mean, I think I like the tradition of having Stargirl in the summer, but if this means that it comes back in the fall, and again, like I said, the fall could still apply to August, September, when and so on. So if it means that we're gonna have no breaks and have a first episode run with no problems, then I think it's gonna be worth it. So maybe post production they realize we're not gonna have everything ready by July because I was honestly thinking okay, July is when they're coming back because
Mhm.
Flash and Super Lows are ending in June. So, but I this works for me. I think this is a great lineup for Wednesdays. I'm catching up on Kung Fu, so it's and I think the show is great. I kind of just want to check out the Winchester pilot just to see like after all of these attempts at spin-offs if this is going to actually work out. I'm going to watch Professionals because of Tom Welling. I don't even care what the show is about. I will watch it because of Tom Welling. And so you know I'm trying to hold back my first, but ladies and gentlemen, and they them, my fellow non-binaries, I love this man. He's one of my favorite actors. I grew up with him when I was 7. He's my favorite Superman, amongst others as well. But Tom Welling deserves the work, and I can't wait to see what this because this was a very intense production for them. And of course, Brendan Fraser, we all love him from Doom Patrol and so much of the great work he's doing. We're going to see him in Batgirl at some point, so it's going to be awesome. But yeah, either way, and I'm not surprised about the double lineup for All American and Walker. And like it seems like this is a trend they're not going back more into, even though I feel like it's like sometimes a little bit too much of a good thing, but at the same time, because the original shows are what the 80 spin-offs life, it could benefit that like okay, the shows that gave these spin-offs potential to come to life, like they make more. If people like those shows, they will have more reason to check out the spin-offs right after. So,
Yeah.
and I think it's all solid. So now we're gonna move on to the mid-season slate, which is Super Lois season 3, Flash season 9, and Gotham Knight season 1, the new series, and the announcement that Riverdale season 7 will officially be the final season of the show. But once again, we need to look at behave. We
Sorry.
need to look at the terminology here, which
Yep.
is the fact that the Riverdale wasn't canceled.
Nope.
The contracts for some of these actors are running out. Many of them had said that they were ready to leave, move on and do different things after the series. So this was decided to be the final the final year for the show, and it will be coming out in 2023. We do not have any premiere dates. We do not have any episode order amount because most of these seasons, the writers' room have not even reconvened yet for this. I think they probably have some ideas what they're doing for these respective seasons, but like for Flash and Supernovas, like they're still airing. So, but Jordan, what do you think about all of this? Well, okay, let's just get your Riverdale hatred out of the way, and then we can move on.
Riverdale went complete dumpster fire. But what I'll say is this: I will defend the aspect of the fact that the show wasn't canceled. They announced the next season. They announced season 7, and then they announced, "Oh, he completely went black screen. What happened? Oh no,
I'm here,
Andy. Oh, there
I'm
back.
here.
Now you're back. Oh, your thing was spinning for me. I have no idea. Your camera was gone.
You were freezing on me too. So I think it's something with both our internet connections.
I don't know. But it was announced a season 7, and then they announced it was the final season. Same thing with Arrow. When they announced season 8, they gave it a final season. So the show wasn't canceled. It is ending on its own terms, aka they don't want to pay these actors more for a season 8, which I don't think a lot of them would want to sign on for season 8.
Yeah, no, you can tell they've been ready to get out of the show for a while. But here's the thing: for people who love Riverdale, no matter how much we joke about it and so on, if you love the show and you're sad the show is ending, we're sorry, but hopefully we get to have a 7th great and final season, and now the show doesn't have to they don't have to go into a season 7 finale, unlike another show that got canceled this year and ended on a cliffhanger. So now they will know how it.
I wonder what show that was, Andy.
I mean, how many shows had season 7 this year? But shade aside, I love Riverdale season 1. I'm not gonna lie, I love Riverdale season 1, and there are aspects of Riverdale that I still like to watch, but it is so bizarre. But listen, there's some good folks over there, and they're getting paychecks, and now they can work work all their asses off to make sure that this final season will be as awesome as it can be.
I can't wait to see Archie fighting Bigfoot while an alien watches. Can't wait.
Yeah.
But in terms of, and I'll pull it up real quick, in terms of this mid-season stuff that we're discussing here, in terms of Gotham Knights, Flash, and Superman and Lois, it's interesting because we're not used to this. We're not used to, especially Superman and Lois, and especially Flash, how many years it's been airing, of course, 8. We're so used to that show starting in the fall and then having, of course, ending in the spring and then coming back in the fall. And for us to have to wait, even though these shows are, of course, Superman, Lois, Flash are going into June, it makes sense because who knows when they're going to start shooting? Probably in the summer. That's the guess.
Actually, Danielle Panabaker, she said something on Instagram the other day that she believes that they're actually starting in the fall this time.
So giving them more of a break because they actually filmed probably longer than normal. Yeah, they did because they were still shooting a few weeks ago, or some of them were.
They just wrapped on the 27th of April. So because they were initially supposed to have 18 episodes, and then they got picked up for another 2 episodes, and so they it got a little bit longer. Or no, actually, it was always supposed to end at the end of April. So I don't know what the whole thing was, but this is new.
Yeah, maybe they just had more time, or maybe they knew they were going to get a season 9 and they thought, let's just give it an even 20. I don't know, but that's interesting. But hey, it gives them more time off. They don't have to start back until September, October-ish. Yeah. So that's good. I think it's interesting that they're doing this, but I mean, I think it's going to work out schedule-wise because we had the schedule here for the fall. There's no place for those 3 shows. There's no place for Gotham Knights, Flash, or Superman and Lois with that schedule. So it makes sense. I mean, unless they would have moved some of this stuff around.
It's about priority, though. And I think that's the thing. Because the thing is that if they wanted, they could have made sure that these shows are back at filming by the time, so they can have new episodes rolling out in the fall. But I think because of that, believe it, because people don't like to believe this, but, the pandemic is still going on. Like, believe it or not, it's still going on. And so I think, they're probably trying to think, it has been 2 very intense years, especially for the shows that are, more popular, long running and so on. And I will say this, and because we will talk about a little about Gotham Knights after this, but I'm genuinely surprised that a pilot that just finished filming 2 weeks ago or something is still being slated for mid-season.
Well, I'm also wondering if because they're going to start shooting, I'm guessing, in the fall as well. Maybe.
Usually with pilots, what they do is that they film the pilot for at least 2 or 3 weeks, and then they kind of come back around July or August, and then they start. Then that's when they shoot episode 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
They might start shooting sooner because all we know is they have a pickup for 13 episodes is the minimum.
Like unless there's something behind the scene that has changed where they're like now like the minimum you get at least is 10 episodes or something. But I was honestly thinking that maybe, because all these free pilots filmed around the same time. So I was like, okay, so they're gonna premiere all their free new shows in the fall, or they're gonna save one of the new, like, like maybe
Yeah.
Winchester, or because Winchester's is part of a franchise that is so massive for CW that I was a little bit surprised. But for Flash, you know what, because I spoke to Eric Wallace just a couple of days ago. The link There's lots of links in the show notes, guys. So go click, do things. But I interviewed him for his episode Into the Still Force that he directed. But we also talked about season 8, and he did give some tidbits about season 9. So, but if you want to know what those are, you're gonna have to click on that video below. But it sounds like they are definitely looking at wanting to maybe do things a little bit different for the next season. And I think that's why starting a bit later might also benefit them in terms of like having a more consistent schedule, because I think because of Armageddon, I think so much got jumbled around because they shot out of order a lot of things, because like Chris Williams, who plays Black Lightning, of course, he would come in, and like, I think like even though he wasn't even episode 1, they were filming stuff like early on because of his schedule. So same thing with Kyler Lee and with Javicia and so on. So I think Armageddon, as great as it was, I think it did jumble that production schedule a little bit. So yeah, I think this worked, and they haven't even decided yet on how many episodes season 9 is going to have.
Well, I'm also thinking too, with the later start, it gives them more time to flesh out the next seasons of these shows. For Gotham Knights is the first season, but I'm wondering. I think Gotham Knights probably going to start shooting sooner, maybe just so they're kind of ahead. And because if they have less episodes to shoot, if they get ahead and start shooting ahead, then there's not, then there's less, that like they don't have to wait to start shooting. They can actually just get to it, get it done. Unless there's like a time jump after the pilot to the second episode in terms of timeline that they can do that. I don't know, but we'll see. But yeah, so the mid-season stuff. Let's get into those synopses.
Yeah, well, actually, we're gonna stay on the Flash for a little second, because so Mark Pedowitz, who is the president of the CW, he had held his usual conference call with a bunch of reporters, and of course, Flash in 9 came up as discussion point, and they were asked, is it going to be the final season or not? And as of yesterday, May 19th, at 19, yeah. Oh my God, I'm losing track of dates. Mark Pedowitz said that when it comes to the Flash season 9, what to do and how to do, we have a lot of questions about how to go forward. We have not made any determination, nor has the studio. So for I know there's been reputable sources, or in this case, mostly just the Hollywood Reporter, saying that they're looking to do like an every abbreviated final season. The thing is, a lot of these things can always change so much, very late, last second or whatever. And I think there's a lot of conversation, because I generally think there is a chance that we can get to season 10. I think that if we're doing fewer episodes, like even less than 20, like in 18, if we're doing 50, because at this point, by the time season 9 has finished airing, if it only has 15 episodes, they're going to basically just be 16 or 17 away from getting to 200. And people love syndication numbers. They love to have those big milestones, and also reaching those goals, be able to say Small will run for 10 seasons, Supernatural ran for 25, 40, I don't know, maybe 600 seasons, I don't know. And so and I could see Flash, like depending on what all the actors wants, what Eric wants, what Greg Blandy wants. But I think, again, like I think that this time, like if we haven't heard anything by 901, I think there's a very strong chance that they're looking at doing a season 10, just to kind of see, like, well, let's just play out season 9, see how people are kind of get a little feel for what people are saying, but still kind of have in mind like that 9/15, if let's say we do get 15 episodes, that could serve as a series finale, or at least be like it's a finale where like there's no cliffhangers, there are no like what ifs or buts, but like it will be wrapped and done. But then they could come back for another season if that's what they choose to do. Just Jordan, what are your thoughts on
I think your assessment of if we don't hear anything by the season 9 premiere, that's that makes a lot of sense. Like, why would they wait till when the show's, because the CW wants to let people know ahead of time when a show's ending. Like, they don't want to like just throw it at you, like, oh, by the way, It's the final. Like traditionally, like in terms of networks in general, they don't want to like surprise fans. Like, oh, by the way, we're in the middle of the season. It's the final one. They want to announce ahead of time. So I would assume with how good the Flash has done in terms of like numbers and how it's done really well for the network overall, when you look at the bigger picture of what the Flash has done for the CW, I feel that they would try to come to a decision on when it's ending versus just canceling it or not telling them until they're halfway through a season. Oh, by the way, you're not getting picked up. I feel like with how good the show's done, that they would at least give them that courtesy. They should get that courtesy for everybody, but get my point. I feel that they're going to do a season 10 just to have the 10 and then just done. But really, it really depends on Grant Gustin. If he doesn't want to do it, they're not going to. I just don't see how they would pull it off. Because, I mean, we had discussed, was it last week's episode before, where there was a discussion at a panel where Brainiac 5 himself was saying how they pitched a season 7 of Supergirl without Supergirl. I just don't know how the Flash season 10 would go if there was no Grant Gustin.
Now there would be no season 10. That if they want to do something else with other characters, they will be spin-offs. But they like the Flash won't
it all
star.
comes down to Grant.
Yeah, unless they like if they want to do something like Wally West takes over as the Flash, and so. But at this point, it's like when you're in a season, like even if you have a new character taking over and there's new stories to tell, they're still dealing with a season 10. But it's better to just start as a new show.
Yeah.
But we will see what happens. But when that news comes, it will come directly from CW and Warner Brothers. I did see we had some super chat that I want to go through before we continue. So Jennifer asks, I think this is for you. Would you do an article for ranking all seasons of the Clone Wars like you did for Arrow?
The ranking Arrow thing was good. Clone Wars, that'd be more difficult because I'd have to actually rewatch the whole show because I don't remember a lot of like when stuff occurs in that timeline. But yeah, thanks for the suggestion. But I'd have to literally rewatch the whole show.
We have a super from Jon Snow Rules who says apparently Warner Bros. Will be doubling down on Harry Potter. Well, if they like money, that's a smart move.
If it's Zaslav, the new sheriff in town over at Warner Brothers Discovery,
you're gonna do a Photoshop of him just wearing like a cowboy hat.
I will with the little sheriff badge.
No, a WB badge.
There you go. That would be like sheriff looking badge, WB on it, and then have a cowboy hat like Walker. And but apparently he's meeting up with J.K. Rowling and I guess other people a part of Wizarding World to discuss future plans. And my guess is a part of those future plans is not continuing Fantastic Beasts because those movies are not making money now. So I'm guessing he's going to be discussing series on HBO Max, maybe even an HBO Max original film that's going to be like more cost effective. But they're definitely not going to go in the route of let's do a fourth chapter of a fourth installment of Fantastic Beasts and earn only $5 million in the box office opening weekend. I mean, that film, apparently some people are saying it's the best one and it didn't make the money. So
too late. That's what I would say about that. And so we're gonna move in now to and God Christ help me, because Jordan and you all are gonna just okay. Calm down.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited though.
Are you finished?
Yes.
I'm like Black Panther. I'm like, are you done? Are you finished? No, I'm kidding. So Gotham Knights, ladies and gentlemen, is going forward. It's been picked up the series, and it's going to happen in mid-season. Thank you. I know I am amazing. And we got while the trailer wasn't released, they did show a little footage for people who were at the upfront presentation, and this is how they have also given us a new synopsis that kind of gives a little more details about the show. So I'm just gonna remove the logo just for 1 second so Andy can read his poorly sized text. Batman is dead, and a powder keg has ignited Gotham City without the Dark Knight to protect it. In the wake of Bruce Wayne's murder, his adopted son, Turner Hayes, Oscar Morgan, is framed for killing the Cape Crusader along with the children of some of Batman's enemies. Duella, Olivia Rose Keegan, an unpredictable fighter and skilled thief who was born in Arkham Asylum and abandoned by her father. Harper Row, Fallon Smythe, a streetwise and acrobatic engineer who can fix anything, and her brother Cullen Rowe, a clever transgender teen who is tired of being polite and agreeable, with the charismatic and hard-charging district attorney Harvey Dent. Misha Collins from Supernatural, and the GCPD hot on their trail. Turner will rely on Allies include his best friend and formidable coder Stephanie Brown and Allure, and unlikely Batman sidekick Carrie Kelly and Via Robinson. But our knights will soon learn there's a larger, more nefarious force at work within Gotham City. The team of mismatched fugitives must band together to become its next generation of saviors known as the Gotham Knights. Stop it, Jordan. I see what you're doing. It's distracting me. This is, oh my God. I mean, I think that the important question there's only one thing we can ask about the show.
Harvey then. Can we trust him?
Okay, guys. Get it out of your system. Get it out of your system.
Dude, this is the best show ever. Oh my God, I cannot wait.
And what have you read the script? Have you watched the pilot? What have you seen? What have you actually seen besides this?
Dude, that's the best freaking shot ever.
It is very CW generic. I will agree with that. And it has nothing to do with what the actors look like or what they're doing. It's just this poster. If I just didn't have that logo in there, it could be for any show. Like, they don't even have Wayne, like the tower behind Turner is, I guess it's supposed to be Wayne Enterprises, but they couldn't even put the Wayne Enterprises logo on it. So I was just like, you could have given us something different. But again, I'm challenging you now, sir. What are you basing, what are you actually basing any of your opinions on besides seeing one image and reading a text synopsis?
Multiverse.
No, multiverse. No. Like I'm challenging you. Come on now.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's the challenge?
I want you to give your honest opinions based on the 0.5% that we've seen from this show. That is this image and this synopsis.
This is going to be me and everybody else who watches that pilot when it airs.
I think that you leave a trail of bodies every damn place that you go.
That's gonna be.
They are framing them for murder, so that would be on point.
That's gonna be Bruce's adopted son to everybody else in the show. He's just gonna run around telling people that. He's also gonna say this.
Suit me up, Uncle Alfred.
Oh my God, if Bruce is dead, where the fuck is Alfred up at?
I just played that clip just because it said Alfred and we had Batgirl. Sorry, almost threw my mouth there. That version of Batgirl. Yeah, there's been no mention of Alfred. No mention. Is he dead? I mean, he's
have
dead.
To watch the show to find out.
Oh my God, like you know. Okay, so
no, I'm saying I don't know. I don't know about Alfred. I'm saying just that if we want to get those, if we together as a unit and all of our viewers want to find that out, you're gonna have to watch the show.
So here's my honest opinion. Okay, honest opinion. Not touching the clip. Is this? I think this sounds. The picture is generic as hell. Like you said, there's no Wayne Tower. They didn't even try to make it seem like they're in Gotham City. They're just on a random street. It's raining and they're just staring at the camera all like moody drama. Like, I don't care. I made a TikTok and Andy saw the TikTok. I said, this picture would be more interesting if they were actually in costumes, like suits. Like, I'm assuming they're going to have suits. They're going to be, if they're the Gotham Knights. So, I don't know why they're making this show. Because we already had a Bat character who actually is a legit Bat character as Batwoman. I don't know why we're doing a Gotham Knights show. Now, actually, they have a character who becomes Batgirl in the comics, but she's not going to be Batgirl in the show. She's going to become, spoiler, that's the assumption. We have a Robin.
More fun that way also.
Yeah, we have a Robin, Carrie Kelly. We have Harper Row. But, like, it just feels like they looked at Batwoman and went, this is not what we want. Like, this is too close to Batman. We got to go even less than Batman. Go down to this. Like, it's just like, it's irritating. I would feel different if Titans never existed and this was a show about Dick Grayson, Jason Todd. Like, they actually went that route. Instead of Titans, they had a show called
the video game.
Well, maybe, but like if Titans never existed, they would be able to do a more traditional aspect of like the Bat family, because this is not really. It's kind of Bat family, not really. I'm sorry they didn't call it the Bat family, but they can't because some of them are not actually like their original characters, or give a point out.
it's one original character. All these characters are from the comic, and 2 of them are from the Bat family. Like don't erase Stephanie Carey's role. Like this is the first time we're getting Carrie Kelly. Like besides,
I understand that, but like also at the same time, it's like, why did this show? Like, why did we the whole Batwoman thing? This is their separate thing, but why are they going ahead with like? How did this get greenlit? That's what I'm trying to figure out. I just don't understand it. But maybe we're missing something. Maybe they can't tell us everything that's actually in this show because it would spoil things. So maybe it actually is going to be good. But I don't have faith.
So here's what I will say. Yes, when the show was announced, I was very much thrown off because I felt like we all, but Gotham Knights is essentially what they're already doing on Batwoman and the Gotham Knights essentially with with Fox, with Sophie, with Mary, they were introducing Renee Montoya, they could have turned into the Question and so on. But this is there's I don't know if Gotham Knights this year is the full reason why why Batwoman got canceled. There's so many factors that goes into that. But I would say I was thrown up and I was also a little bit like this is strange. But the more I've heard about it, what has come out and stuff, and maybe not come out yet, I think it's an interesting group of characters they're putting together. And here's the thing: hearing just the title Gotham Knight, we knew that it was never going to be Nightwing, Batgirl, Red Hood, and Robin. Like we knew that it's just never going to happen. And I think the name choice is smart. I think it's good that they picked this name. I think this is more recognizable because people know, like, yes, this is, because something like Legends Tomorrow, again, this is not a slam on the show, but just more on, like, if you take Legends Tomorrow and you take it to any person on the street, probably 5 out of 10 people are going to know what that show is because it's not, because those are the invested fans. People who aren't even, like, big comic readers are probably going to wonder, what is Legends Tomorrow? But with Gotham Knight, like, you can hear it. It is about the Batman universe in various forms and shapes. And, and here's the thing, like I said last week, for all we know, we'll be watching this next year, and we might be coming back and saying, you know what a good, actually, this was actually a good idea. This is cool because I like the idea because I think we have way too much Batman content in general, but I do love the fact that there are these other characters, there are these Bat family characters, and yes, every DC show has always done this, where like, they do bring in smaller characters. I mean, Harper, I know Harper has gotten a little bit bigger in the comics. Columbo, I think, is somewhat a little bit obscure, but that's the point with some of these shows. Like not a lot of people knew who who Iris was, or who Killer Frost was, or who Sophie Moore was, or Mary Hamilton, or Luke Fogg. Like some of these characters, like people didn't know anything about, and these shows and movies allowed general audiences to get to know them better. So I understand why. I do fully get what people are saying about the adopted song because I felt it would have been just more natural, just since. Obviously, Titans, Batman. It doesn't seem like Damian Wayne exists. I think Damian Wayne could have, even though I hate Damian Wayne with a passion, I think it would have been natural for him to lead the show.
Yeah.
And also, that could have also given us a Middle Eastern Robin. We could have actually had, one of the few, people of color in the Bat family actually lead this. I do agree the poster looks so generic. Like it's like, again, I could take out the Gotham Knights logo and just send it to anyone and be like, hey, this is what Riverdale season 8 is gonna look like, and they would believe me because like it looks like any CW show.
It's not interesting. That's the issue. It's not an interesting picture. It's just them standing there in the rain.
Very photoshopped.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I want to pull up these 2 things real quick so I can tell Chainsaw will love it. He'll lose his mind. Oh, I will definitely lose my mind. And Johnson rules, why not call it something else to differentiate from the game? That's a point. I mean, I literally just said a few seconds ago, what if they called it?
Tell me what you would call. I would challenge you, John. What would you call it? Find a name that is easy to market that people are actually going to watch.
Jennifer.
All about branding and marketing.
Jennifer.
Back
to back. Thank you. Thank you so much.
There's one at the top as well. Let's see.
Oh, I see it.
We can talk about it. We're not going to talk about we can talk about this. We can talk about it.
Okay.
How do you feel about Amber Heard getting under 10 minutes of screen time in Aquaman 2? We're not going to talk about the trial because it's not.
That's a separate thing.
And also it's also something that we as the public, we shouldn't really know anything about it. I think this is about real people dealing with real problems, and I don't think there's anything to say about it. And how do I feel about Amber Heard getting under 10 minutes? Regardless of what's happening to her personally, I did enjoy her performance as Mira, and I think Mira was a great character. So it's,
Yeah.
we will see what happens. I honestly don't know much about Aquaman 2, so this,
Yeah, we
not
don't
much
know
I
the
can say.
stories. We don't know what the. Excuse me, I got a sneeze. I feel like a sneeze coming on. I'm gonna mute myself when it happens. But
Okay, I can.
I feel
Go
it.
on.
But what I was saying was we don't know the story, so we don't know why she's not hardly in it. So we'll have to wait and see.
Well, based on her testimony that supposedly she's been that she had more stuff to do initially, and then he cut it down. Again, that's
the thing is, and we're not gonna get necessarily into trial, but it really comes down to, is she telling the truth on that? Like, she's saying that she was cut down due to stuff, but like, could it be a scripting thing where they literally just made changes to the story overall, and it just meant that her stuff is just being we don't know. So all we know is that she's claiming that. We don't know that for sure. We don't know when the film comes out that if she actually has only 10 minutes or under 10 minutes. We don't know until we see the movie. Because the movie
allegedly, I will say this just for our own legal protection. Allegedly, this is what's going on, because they haven't, the studio hasn't responded about it. But
they're still editing the movie. We don't know.
Yeah, but thank you for your super chat. We appreciate it. But with Gotham, I want to bring up, because it is kind of relevant now, because we're gonna have other things to talk about. My buddy Craig Byrne is here. Green Air TV, Flash TV News, KZ TV, guys. He's awesome. Go check him out. I think Roth Adams of Gotham Knights could have been Damian, and Roth Adams is playing a character named Brody. That and it was funny because a lot of people thought Turner was going to be like a code name, but I actually think Turner Hayes is related to. There's a character in the comics. You may remember in season 1 or 2. Remember, that little mystery girl who was always saying secret, and she had a brother. That was William Hayes. So I wonder if there's a chance that maybe he's related to William Hayes. That this is like they're going to create a connection, so in that way he is sort of like a DC character, kind of like what they did with Ryan Wilder with because Jada Jet is from the comic. They retooled her a little bit for the show, but so there is a way to the DC connection there. So I wonder if that could be the case. But Roth as Damian, maybe. But also then it's a very adult Damian in that case.
There's some Craig and other people also gave opinions on different names. So we have Shadow of the Bat. Okay. You could Photoshop anyone in the image and it will change something. Chainsaw Andy could be in it. Make look. The Bat Family, as I suggested. I'd call it the Dark Knights, or simply Gotham Saviors. Whatever the name is, has to have Bat in it. Well, not necessarily, but
I think Gotham Knights work. I mean, the thing is, the video game is not the first. I mean, there's been comics, and there's been a team in the comics known as the Gotham Knights. It's not like the video game somehow owns exclusivity to it. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. So
this discussion.
We will talk about it later. We'll talk about it later.
Yep.
Coming
up soon.
Craig, I don't understand. Bats all, folks.
Get it? That's all, folks. Bats all, folks.
Oh my.
That is fantastic. I love that. I love that.
That is me mentally right now, Craig.
Look, if that was the name, then we would be sitting there going,
"This is a complication."
This was the clip you were hyping up this entire time.
It sure was.
Oh my god.
I love that part.
I love that, but I'm like, it wouldn't be a complication just to call it Bats all, folks. It's just, I don't know. But listen, I think we're going to learn more about Gotham Knights as the year progresses. And I'm, listen, if you guys want to watch it, go watch it. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But right now, when it comes to DC content on the CW, there's not a lot of options. You have 4 shows, at least 3 shows for the next season. We don't know about Stargirl season 4. So,
don't know.
And deal with it. Now, I don't like I love to be petty, so I need this moment for myself before we get going, because
Yeah.
everyone was talking about, like, like we're gonna get, crossover news, or like graphic novel stuff, and all these major announcements, whatever, and so on. So I decided to use my barely photo skills or graphic skills or whatever, and put together a little special presentation. Upfronts is not Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, WonderCon, DC Fan, or D23, or whatever nerd event there is there. For the love of God.
That's fucking fantastic.
It is beautiful. I thank you. Thank
It's
you.
so good. I
Because
didn't
here's the thing. And I don't like to, I'm not trying to be arrogant or elitist, but what I will say is that, and what 10 years ago, I had to learn this the hard way too, is that Upfronts is not like a fan event. It is for the network presidents and their creative teams and their program to promote their stuff to advertisers to invest in them. And the thing is, CW is more than just DC stuff. So and also another thing, the Flash and Superman Lois has not even finished airing their seasons. They haven't even started writing the new seasons yet. So why, in the name of God, like Armageddon is one thing because they had to log in a lot of actors, but also, if you notice, it was mostly actors on shows that weren't even airing anymore. So, and had already finished filming. So that's why. Don't take, just because something happens last year, don't guarantee it's going to happen every year from there on. What you can always guarantee to get is a schedule. You will get some trailers for the fall shows, not mid-season shows usually. Unless, sometimes they may say, it's coming in the fall, and they show the trailer anyway, and then they have to reshoot or whatever and so on. Like, and then so it has to go back to mid-season. So just take this into mind. I'm not here to try to mock anyone or crush your dreams or so, but like, it was getting exhausting having to just sit, see everyone just like building up upfronts as if it's something supposed to be. Like, it's not supposed to be San Diego Comic-Con. It's not supposed to be these events. Again, not to be petty. Well, even though I love to be a petty bitch, this you need to remember this. I'm sorry, but it's a fact. Discuss, Jordan, if you have anything you want to share, because I need a drink.
Well, okay, so what you're saying with this image here is that the upfronts is exactly like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, WonderCon, DC Fan D23, where you get all these announcements, correct? That's what you're saying?
Nope.
Flip me back.
I did put you back.
So you're saying is when the upfronts occur, we're supposed to be getting announcements for shows and big reveals and things we'd never heard of, like Comic-Con.
Your lips, my ass, they should meet. I'm kidding. No, but like, I just don't want people to build up so much anticipation and then be disappointed, because I saw a lot of people being like, they like announced like barely anything. Like, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? Didn't announce anything? Like, oh my god, CW fails. What the hell? Like, great over my dead body, grateful. So. But I understand, but it's the thing, we will get stuff when the writers and producers start working on stuff again. Like, they bust their ass off 9-10 months of the year. Let them also rest up and not have to prepare things so that we can get announcements. We're fine. We have at least 4 episodes left of Superman Lois. We have 5 episodes left of the Flash season 9, and we have a full season of Stargirl coming. So simmer down. Calm down.
Like, they were expecting news about the Flash season 9's villain and Superman Lois season 3's villain, but yet they gave you
crossover news and Armageddon stuff,
they gave you exactly what they were going to give you, which was a schedule. They told you when Superman, Lois, Flash, Gotham Knights are going to come. They told you. That's all they have. They have nothing to show you. Like, they had Bitsy and Tyler, of course, Lois and Superman out on stage. They didn't announce anything. They were there just to promote the CW. And in fact, they're still on the air and they still have a show.
Because in that room, there's besides journalists and maybe some fans or whatever, so one day there are also advertisers there. They're there to see what do we want to use our money on? Like, that's the thing. They're not here to get, like Hall H applause, or like get, like a panel moment at Comic-Con. Like, they're not that's not what they're looking for. That's not what it's aimed for, and that's not what they're using the resources for either.
Well, I
So
heard from a writer at Screen Rant that the Upfronts is like Hall H. That's what I've heard.
I'm gonna slap you so hard if I ever see you in person.
Come on. If you ever see me in person, it's gonna be amazing. Come on.
But if you have any more upfront stuff you're going to talk about, we will do it in the Q&A, because now it's time to go into Marvel and some horrible ass CGI.
Oh God.
Okay. Have fun, Jordan. You will lead this discussion.
I am, and I'm actually gonna be against you on this, and for some aspects of it. We're talking the one, the only Hulk She. I don't know why they went with that name. She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. Now, here's the thing. I like the subtitle, Attorney at Law, because originally it was just called She-Hulk when they made the announcement. And when they announced more information in terms of Tatiana playing, of course, She-Hulk, there was no Attorney at Law in the subtitle, and it was announced at the Upfront. So you're wrong, Andy. They made an announcement. They announced a subtitle for this show. You're wrong. It's just like Hall H. So She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. They had the trailer drop. Now, here's the thing. I watched that trailer like right as soon as it dropped, and I didn't see the backlash to people until after I put up my video, because I really didn't agree with the negativity about the overall CGI. There are some shots for sure that are not great, but as I was watching the trailer, I overall was like, all right, She-Hulk. And the fact is, they said that it's a comedy, and that especially the trailer pretty much tells you it's a very different approach than what you'd expect. It's not a traditional drama superhero show. It's going to be on the comedic side, and the romance at the end I thought was pretty damn funny. Her carrying that guy, that was funny. But in terms of the CG, of course, Andy's looking up images right now, I bet, to throw up.
I'm forcing myself to rewatch it just so that I can actually remember what.
I honestly don't hate the CGI. There are some shots definitely could have been better, and I think the show's gonna look better when it comes out.
Dude, Despero looks fucking better than she did on a CW budget. He looks better. Like, people were literally dragging up Armageddon and Deathstorm as compared. Like, how does a TV show with like a very small budget manage to do that versus Marvel fucking Studios?
I just don't see all of the big hate about everything. There's certain shots that would be better.
So you mean like every shot of her as She-Hulk? Is that what you're saying? Because that's the thing. I will say that I think the trailer is giving us a great picture of how good the show can be. My problem is that they've been working on She-Hulk for so long. We've heard for so long there's been a lot of creative issues behind the scenes, and there's been delays and so on. And I feel the reason they released this trailer was because a couple of days before it came out, that the UK Disney Plus had accidentally leaked that it was coming out on August 17th. And it feels like this wasn't ready yet. And I felt that's what they always that's why they showed that. If that date had not leaked, I'm pretty sure this is not what we would have seen. I think they would have, because I can believe the idea that maybe they haven't finished working on it yet, but don't release it just because the date accidentally leaked. You can release the poster, which, by the way, the poster is horrible because it's just, again, it's traditional depiction of women in poses where, like, let's focus on the ass and not, like, we don't even see her face in the poster. So, but I just, for me, was just surprised that they were willing to show this as a reaction to, because the date leaked. Like, you could have just released the poster and just given the date. That's it. Like, Miss Marvel is the next show that's, that they're building up more hype for. So I don't understand. Like, I don't understand why this came out. But like, if we're talking about the tone and the story, I think it's going to be a great show. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see Mark Ruffalo back as Bruce Banner, because we can't get a Hulk movie because of damn Universal Studios holding their rights. It is so cringy that, like, we can do anything with the Hulk, but we can't do a Hulk movie because then we have to share the money.
Yep.
But wow, how does Marvel Studios, that gave us Infinity War, put this out?
I don't agree. That's not.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. We don't have to agree on that. But anything else that stands out to you?
I was surprised. And people were like hating on it so much. Like, there were some shots as I was watching this trailer for the first time for my video. I thought, my other shots, I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I honestly didn't see any of the negative feedback until after I uploaded my video. I'm like, oh, there's people that actually are not liking this. Okay. But then again, that's my that video. That's my genuine response, because I didn't see I didn't like sit online to see what people were thinking before I watched the trailer to get a fake video. Like, I watched that thing right away. So I felt like this is a genuine like thing here, because I had no outside people telling me things or reading things. Like, I was literally watching it and like seeing it for the first time, and not having outside, people talking about what they thought about the trailer. So I was quite surprised hearing people's feedback, but everyone has an opinion. It's all good.
Yeah. Moving on to our last topic, is that after a lot of people wanting and wishing for it, Daredevil is back. And the Variety, actually, my buddy Joe, who writes it, he broke the exciting news that Disney Plus is developing a new Daredevil series with Matt Corman and Chris Ord set to write and executive produce. And it's also been reported by a reporter that while it is a new show, it's also a continued series. So while it's not going to be called Daredevil Season 4, it could be like Daredevil colon couscous or something. Like, just put in a word after or something. Put Daredevil couscous. Oh my god. And yeah, so far Marvel Studios and Disney Plus has not not made any comments on it, but Daredevil Matt Murdock, he is on his way back, and now it's a Disney Plus series. You can watch the original series Daredevil, the first 3 seasons, on Disney Plus, depending on where you live, but it's definitely in the States. And I'm so excited that we're continuing the story, and I'm sure there's going to be some, like maybe they will update the costume. Like, I still think we're gonna have the grittiness of it. Like, the thing is, I don't need him to curse every 5 seconds, and so I still think we're gonna have that intense, dark action. I think that's why they kind of were testing Moon Knight to see how people respond to it. And the thing is, I'm tired of the MCU just caving to we need to be family friendly.
Mhm.
Bitch does Endgame and Infinity would look like family friendly to you. Like, Thanos commits massive genocide. Family friendly, my ass. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Charlie Cox, because he is one of the greatest castings they've ever done in the MCU. And if there was anything, if there was a big loss for Marvel TV, was when Daredevil got canceled, especially because I really love season 3. I don't know why people have such issues with it, because I felt like it kind of brought it back a little bit to the beginning. And I think that again, that finale was great. Like, I feel like they kind of if we don't get another season, we know what we'll be up to. We'll be dealing with Bullseye. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what how the other characters are gonna come back. I'm sure Foggy will be there.
Karen.
I don't like Karen Page.
Oh,
I mean, we don't. I mean, if I get into it, maybe people are just gonna say that I'm just using my political agenda or whatever. But I want to see Bullseye. I think Bullseye will be the villain probably for one of the new seasons.
It's funny. It literally was rumored today that Bullseye is going to be appearing in Echo, the same actor.
There you go. Yeah. So, what are you thinking about this?
When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, so it's not just rumored anymore. It's actually happening. Here's what I think about the whole wording of continued series is what they're probably going to do is probably this. They're going to have the same cast return from Daredevil. They're not going to call it season 4, like you said. They're probably going to have like a subtitle and probably couscous. They're probably going to Daredevil, Man Without.
Why was the first word I came up with? Couscous. Like, why is Daredevil couscous streaming now on Disney Plus?
It's probably going to be Daredevil, Man Without Fear, or something to that effect. To have or they could easily just call it Daredevil, just have a different logo to differentiate from the Daredevil 3 seasons. My guess is when they say continued, is that people who start watching the Daredevil show, if they didn't see the Netflix version, if they watch this new show, they'll see the connections that tie into those 3 seasons. but you don't have to have necessarily seen the other 3 seasons in order to follow the storylines.
Yeah.
That's my guess is what they're going to say, or they may even say, in order for you to understand this, you got to watch the 3 seasons. But my guess is they won't do that. It'll probably be still a continuation. And my guess is if they want to connect the Netflix series to the MCU, they could say that was pre-blip and that this is post-blip, so that some time has passed. The actors have gotten older. The characters say that they were never blipped, or you can say they were blipped. And now they're back to a world that is post-blip. Now everything is shifted because that could explain why Kingpin is stronger now. There's a lot of things they can do. So that's probably what they're going to end up doing is exploring. Maybe Foggy didn't get blipped, but
Matt did.
Matt and Karen did. Or say that Karen and Foggy both got blipped, but Matt did not. Stuff like that. They could easily do amalgamation of those things to whatever they want to do. Or maybe they all did. You just never know. But I'm excited.
Yeah, I mean, and I just, I have to, because the one thing I want to respond is that, and I think we need to, to put this to rest once and for all, that the Netflix shows, the ABC shows, the Runaways on Hulu, Cloak and Dagger was on Freeform, Freeform.
Cloak and Dagger on
it's
Freeform.
all, it's such a weird name. What does Freeform mean?
What was it
called? ABC Family.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I was way
better. It's very. Then that it comes from Disney, and Disney does Marvel. But all these shows that happened, even Hellstrom, that no one really liked, it's all in the MCU. It's all connected. They don't have to reference each. This is what I'm talking about. Like with even the whole Superman Lois fiasco with that they never mentioned Barry or whatever. So, but he kind of allude. I mean, Diggle has literally been in their city, be like, I lost my Oliver Queen. I rings in alien boxes, multiverses. You're from another Earth. So
I would have let General Lane's like, you're from another Earth. What are you talking about?
Diggle was one who lashed out at John and Ryan. Was like, you're from another Earth.
No, I just thought it would have been hilarious. If Sam Lane said to Diggle, like, you're from another Earth. He's like, what are you talking about? Like, you're not connected to our Earth. What are you talking about? Like, just breaking that fourth wall, like how fans would talk or whatever about the connect. It's just so fun.
But yeah, we just need to put that to rest once and for all that these are the same characters we watch on those platforms, but they don't have to mention everything that goes on. But here's the thing: Marvel, Disney Plus made an effort as soon as those shows came to Disney Plus. They were like rolling them out, promoting them, saying what was going on, and I think that basically it's like the Incredible Hulk. It is loosely like they acknowledge what happened in Ang Lee's Hulk from 2003, but it's like they're not revisiting it because why revisit painful material? So we will see what happens next. I'm just glad I don't have to shut up about it anymore. So. What happened?
Oh my God. Imagine the opening. Matt is at a trial, hears a lot of heartbeats, fainting, looks confused, and realizes it's a snap that he dusts away. Oh my God. That'd be brutal as shit.
I would throw an Emmy at Charlie Cox if that happens.
Oh, that's amazing, dude. That's awesome.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna jump to Q&A. So we're gonna ask us stuff.
Hit that theme song. Q&A. Ask us questions or we'll fucking leave.
It sounds like you're about to start singing the Spider-Man theme song every time we Q&A. But yeah, what are people asking and wondering? Let's also check how many likes we have. We're right now at, let me refresh because I'm watching the YouTube video as well. We're at 44 likes. 21 likes. So let's get to because I was watching it. It's 34 watching, but yeah, thank everyone who's tuning in. And so let's try to get to 40. Let's go for 45.
45 likes on the stream. Let's go for 45.
Let's see.
Guys, thank you guys so much for supporting. We did have some super chats.
Okay.
That I wanted to bring up.
That we haven't answered yet.
Well, there's one. Here's one from Jennifer 30. Thank you so much, Jennifer. She has another 30. Did you know that in the Batman 2004 show you're watching, Two-Face never shows up? I had heard there's some characters that are off limits on the show. I think someone had mentioned Two-Face. I'm not sure, but okay, it's all good. Into Hood. Oh, Jake. Hello, Jake.
What's up, Jake? Oh, it's the same Jake. Okay,
Yes.
Joypad Jake. What up, Jake? How you doing, sir?
What's up, Andy? What's up, Box? I'm Box. What? Why am I Box? What did I do?
No, I
Andy.
think he meant boss, like box, but like.
I don't think so. I think he's just making fun of me. I don't know. But Hype Train, awesome. Well, we are glad you were here, sir. Thank you for being here. I doubt that they pushed Gotham Knight show to not get it confused with the game. I doubt it.
Yeah, I doubt it too. I also would love for Starwood to get 5 seasons. At least let them graduate high school at least.
That'd be interesting.
And then they can be the JSA full time or whatever, or like they will just do.
Okay, I think I remember now. I think I remember the box joke. It's been a long day. And I actually started reading a new book yesterday.
What's a book?
I know. I actually started reading novels again, like actual books. It's kind of crazy. So I'm trying to.
What are you reading?
Where's that? It's called Ice Hunt. James Rollins. It's a thriller mystery type thing. And yeah, there's some crazy shit going on. I read another one of his books, James Rollins, called Amazonia. I finished that like 2 or 3 days ago, and that was really good. So I jumped into that one next. I think Fake Chick leveled up. Oh my god, he did. Where's the clip? Where's the clip? Oh god, you clicked it too at the same.
Wow, you have seriously leveled up.
I was going for the clip. Can't do.
We'll be
No.
faster.
Oh. Is it good? Well, I would say Amazonia, which is also by James Rollins, I finished, is definitely good. So far, Ice Hunt, some stuff I'm liking, other stuff I hope gets better. But yeah, it's a long book, so maybe it'll pick up over time. But it was basically the Two-Face type character, or someone who is close to Bruce but becomes a villain. Yeah, I feel bad for Bennett. I do, but I liked how they didn't have him become a villain when he became Clayface. I like that because he wasn't a villain. He was a good guy. He's a good guy. Let's see here. Look, I'm scrolling up to find other questions or stuff.
Yeah.
I know your buddy was asking questions in the chat. Where's some of the stuff you mentioned?
What's the power of announcement? Probably in someone's dreams.
Oh yeah. So can we talk about the fact are we allowed to talk about that now or no?
You can talk about it if you want to.
Okay, I guess he can't.
I don't know much, honestly. I just, it's
the show's not happening. Okay, it's not a spoiler. It's not happening.
Okay. I mean, if TV Line says it's in development, but also there's lingo for what that can mean. I went to the super chat. Will you ever start watching Rebels again?
Ooh.
Did you not finish Rebels?
I know most of it because of spoilers. I was in the middle of somewhere of season 2 on Disney Plus. I think the last episode I watched was the one I reacted to, which was Ahsoka popped up in the middle. I don't think I watched past that, but I was going to be reacting to all of the big episodes of the show. I just never continued because there's been so much other stuff. So yeah. Just maybe one day I'll pick it up. I'm just so basically, for anyone confused, I found a box during my work shift. Oh yeah, it said chainsaw in the box, and he messaged asking, "What am I doing in a box?" And I'm the new character Box in the MCU. Yeah,
You'll probably get your own Marvel Disney Plus.
So wait, you're reading Witcher, Lord of the Rings, and Harry Potter all at the same time? That's a lot. I can only read one book at a time.
I like this one. What will Andy's reaction be if they announce a Marvel's TV show and they kill off James Potter episode 1 changing canon? I mean, James Potter is a douche, so I don't mind. But it's like if they want Harry to exist, like he and Lily are gonna fuck. So just saying.
It's all good. Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show.
There's a lot of discussion about the CW, about She-Hulk, about Daredevil. So definitely check out the show on the replay. Thank you for being here. If they cancel Titans after season 4, would you want a Teen Titans show in Titan? I mean with this cast? No. Not really. If they're gonna
I would be
end,
game for it. I think I mean, the actors are all great. I think it's the writing that is problematic. But I would love to see like Raven, Superboy, Beast Boy. You can bring back Ravager and Jericho, and just some other younger Teen Titans members, and have like a show that follows them. And then I mean, I don't think Titans season 4 is the last one. So, but what I would do is, like I said before, split the shows up into spin-offs. So Red Hood can do his thing. Barbara could maybe do like a Oracle or Birds of Prey show. They can do Titans season 4 and 5 and beyond. With the adults, let's bring in Wally West, let's bring in Cyborg, let's bring in Roy Harper, and focus on them, and along with Starfire, Nightwing, and Donna Troy, of course. Because I think it would be a nice content to see like what is actually like to be teenagers, and like when we're they, because the younger heroes are a little bit like sidekicks to the older heroes, like that are on the Titans team. So.
Let's see. I'm interested to see who shows up in the She-Hulk. We're getting Frogman. The rumor for the longest time is that we'd be getting Daredevil. He pops up in there.
How interesting. They released a trailer for She-Hulk and then they announced that he's getting a show again.
I mean, it might all be a coincidence. Not all at the same time. I change books daily and take turns. What am I, Superman? I mean, yeah. I mean, I wasn't saying you read them all at the same time. I'm just saying, if I'm reading a book, I can't start another one in the middle of reading another. Thank you for the super chat. Would rank all the Disney Plus shows for an article. That'd be interesting to do. I mean, Disney Plus. Oh, thank God. I didn't read the Marvel part till just now, but say all the Disney Plus shows. Jesus, I haven't seen all the Disney Plus shows. But that'd be interesting to do as an article. What did Lily ever do to James Potter? Oh, ever see in James Potter? Yeah. So what did Lily ever see in James Potter?
Why do you think I'm so like, if they want to kill him off, just kill him off?
I guess he doesn't want Harry to be alive.
I want Harry to be alive, of course, but it's like if you want to do like an Elseworlds, Harry Potter universe where he never was born. But I just also don't think there is a multiverse storytelling in Harry Potter, and I don't think we need to go there because then I feel like they're just doing it because everyone else is doing it. I think like let multiverse be more for the superheroes and so on screen.
So how do you feel about this thing about where people are now wondering about Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Punisher, and Iron Fist? Because now
you mean like you with him coming back? They've been demanding since all the shows got canceled.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, with Charlie Cox coming back as Daredevil officially in his own show, about the return of Luke, Jessica, Frank Castle, and Danny. Do you think they're going to bring them back? Is it possible? Is it more of a chance now because Daredevil's returning?
I mean, I think there was always a chance. Like I said, just because the shows got canceled, it never meant that they could never use them until they obviously had to wait till the Netflix deal was up. But it's like I knew always that at some point, as soon as that window is open again, they're gonna start showing them up again. And Daredevil was more natural to bring in because he is an attorney, and Peter Parker needed an attorney. So. And Kingpin was a natural villain for Hawkeye to deal with, because there's street level heroes and villains. So I do think there's a very good chance for Mike Coulter and Krista Ritter to come back. It was funny because they were just in LA and they met up and they took an Instagram photo and so on, and people are like, oh my God, what's happening and so on. But and I hope they would come back because I would actually want to see that relationship for that. I didn't mind Claire and Luke. That ship is fine. But for me, I think there was a bigger connection between Jessica and Luke, not just because of the comic, but also just because of how vastly different they are from each other. And I think Luke Cage and Jessica Jones season 1 did such a good job setting it up, and then just.
Do you think that picture was just them meeting up, or there was something more to it?
I think they knew that people would start writing articles about it, and they're like.
Especially with Mike Coulter, he put in his upload of it, he put hashtags Defenders, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. Like he was being very particular with what he was saying. I love Young Justice. My brother hates it. Give him a reason. For what?
Only one to watch it. He wanted to pitch his brother why to watch it.
It's an amazing show.
It's how young is your brother? That's what I first of all ask. But secondly, I think Young Justice is out of all the DC animations I've ever seen, and like I will say this more even than Justice League Unlimited and Justice League, that it is surprisingly a very like it's like a live action drama, but in anime form for 20 minutes because Greg Weisman and Brendan Vietti, like who I love, and I said it to Greg years ago, like I love the way that you guys write the show as if it was like a 1 hour drama, but in animated form, and they deal with real issues, like the season 1 and 2 is very much about them as young teenagers and then young adult and dealing with like what does life look like after high school, like how do you juggle being a superhero and also trying to have your own life, and since the show went with HBO Max, yes, it is very obvious that the show has gone a little more political, which I think is fine. I think I like the allegory and the metaphors because like they're dealing, like, and people are saying, "Oh my God, I just became SJW." You do fucking realize superheroes has always fought for social justice, right?
Mm.
So,
but of course, people that say that they're like, "Oh, no, that's not what it's not stuff I
yeah.
read."
But also they give you such a great variety of characters, like not necessarily characters you've seen before from the comics, but someone like someone like Rocket. I know I'm not actually very familiar with that side of the DC universe. So I think that's been great to watch. We like look at someone like Calderon. He was a smaller character who everyone that like wants to see in live action. They want to see him as Aquaman and so on. So yeah, I think there's there's so much good to watch with that show. But what would you say is if you had to pitch the show to his brother?
Well, I also agree with your point about it's definitely more adult because there are some storylines in this show that you really got to pay attention because if you there might be a reference or something that you might miss and you're going to completely it might go over your head. You got to like be in tune with everything because this show does a lot and covers a lot. Season 3 went overboard with covering so much because they literally came back after all those years, so they went overboard. I get it, but at the same time, I enjoyed it. But they gave us a lot of stuff. I like how they're more like kind of like how graphic novels on The Flash now. They have little arcs. Some of the stuff connects and ties in, but we're following different characters. And like you're saying about Rocket, I don't remember Rocket appearing. She appeared in some bits of the show before her arc, before season 4, but like her arc did so much to further the Young Justice Earth 16 and everything surrounding it in terms of, and I haven't seen the Green Lantern series because someone's actually asking if I'm going to react to it, but the character Razor from the Green Lantern show, I have not seen that character from Green Lantern because I haven't seen the show, but he is now kind of tied into the canon of Young Justice from that show, and that's in her arc. And then we had the big reveal, and spoiler, if you're not watching Young Justice, I have to drop this because we're talking about the show, and it's been weeks now since this episode and this arc. General fucking Zod is in Young Justice. I thought they would never do. And so they have General Zod in the Phantom Zone, and then we had all this other crazy stuff in terms of what was happening on New Genesis and everything that kind of tied into not Apocalypse. What was it called? God, what is the place called?
New Genesis?
No, not New. No. The place where Darkseid lives.
Apocalypse.
Is it called Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? I thought it was something.
Yeah,
else.
it's called Apocalypse.
I thought it was something else.
You're saying that I know that Greg and Brandon were involved with Green Lantern animation, but you're saying that these two shows are connected?
I didn't know this until after I watched the episode. That Razor guy, the Jim Krieg, who's a writer for a lot of DC animated stuff, he wrote. Okay, it's Apocalypse spelled differently than. Okay, I'm thinking Apocalypse. I'm thinking Apocalypse Marvel Mutant.
How is this? Wait, hold on. How is this possible? The animation styles are not even the same.
I understand that. What I'm trying to get to is this, because I didn't understand this until I watched that episode because I haven't seen Green Lantern animated series. When Razor came in, they had like a little storyline about where he's searching for someone and he has the Red Lantern and he was originally a Blue Lantern. And then it kind of goes then he continues on. He goes back being both a Red and Blue Lantern. It's something that they set up at the end of Green Lantern season 1. The show never got continued, but they brought that storyline kind of in with this Razor, and he knows Kilowog and all that kind of stuff. And Jim Krieg, who's a writer for a lot of DC animated stuff, wrote for Green Lantern animated show. He came in and wrote the episode where Razor showed up. So they really like basically connected it. So Yeah.
Okay.
I know the animation is different, but I think it's interesting how they're doing that because
But
that show's been done for years. And I've never seen it, but I've heard great things about
but
it.
we've seen Hal Jordan on this show. Like it is like I don't. It doesn't even feel like because I watched a little bit of the show and I never for 1 second ever saw any correlation or whatever and so on.
Yeah.
I'm
It,
okay. I'm surprised about this.
it's not a triple. I think what they've said, it's kind of canon. It's not, they're not necessarily saying it's truly canon connected, but they're kind of bringing it into canon in terms of
What
the
did he actually say? I want to actually know what he said. Greg Weisman. Like, because like, I don't, because I don't want to get excited for nothing. So I want to see like what did he actually say that.
let's see. Razor. Let's see.
Let's see. Okay, I have an article right now here from Comic Book Resources. The latest episode of HBO Max Young Justice Phantoms confirms that the events of Green Arrow are adjacent to the show's canon. The ninth episode of Phantom and 91, the 90th episode of Phantoms marks the return of Razor as an original character created for Green Arrow series. Phantoms picked up a number of plot threads from the Green Arrow cartoon, including Razor achieving his red power ring for a blue one before ultimately becoming a Red Lantern Blue Lantern hybrid. Razor also continues his search for Aya, his lost love. Okay, so Greg Weisman, he officially said it's adjacent. Where like, okay.
So it feels like what they're trying to do is they're not saying that show is directly connected to Young Justice. It's just that they're pulling that storyline.
I did not know that he was due to that Scooby Natural episode is hilariously awesome.
Hello, Realty. Hello.
Hello, what's up?
He watched the last 2 seasons but after I told him Kid Flash, my brother, favorite character, is not coming back in season 3 as a regular, he doesn't want to watch it. Well, that's his choice. If he doesn't want to watch it because death, then okay. It's all good. It's all good. Now Andy has to watch every episode of Green Lantern. Oh boy.
Craig knows why I'm laughing. He knows why I'm laughing. We don't need to get into it. Let's
you want to go, sir?
I can how long do you want to go?
I can go for a little bit longer. We started a little bit late. We're at 1:16 now. Maybe we go till 1:30-ish, 1:35 maybe.
You know what? Because we kind of ended a little bit early last week because I was so exhausted. How about let's go to 10:45. Let's do 24 more minutes because I also let's check how many likes we have.
How many likes?
We have 22. Guys, come on. We know we can do this. We can do this.
Let's get the 45 likes, guys. Come on.
In the meantime, Andy has to run to the bathroom because I've been holding for the last 40.
Okay. What happened? Oh my God. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry to people. Something that irritates me with comp media now is changing affiliations.
What is YouTube? Wait, can you type in the private what the YouTube is actually centering?
I don't know.
Wait, Jake, did you censor that yourself? Well, first of all, thank you so much for your super chat. Wait, okay, let me read this. Anyway, I'm sorry this irks some people. Something that you're in comic media now and shows too is changing the affiliation of certain characters. If they want to create new characters and don't change old ones, well, we can agree to disagree, Jake. That's perfectly fine. I think that, I think there are great characters with, I think there are characters that are in the comic, yes, because we also have to remember when a lot of these iconic characters were created, it was during a time where a lot of creators, who are white, there were barely any people of color or members of the LGBT community behind these creating characters, and so like like in the 80s and 70s, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, like you were barely seeing it. It was rare if you saw women writing in comic book writers' rooms and so on. So and because that's what's the comic book publishers thought would sell. That's why why a lot of characters have, very much the looks of, a lot of white characters. But for example, someone like, like let's take Iris West for example, because that's someone and like Candace Pena has gotten so much hate for it or whatever, but the thing is, there's nothing about Iris that says she has to be white. she's a woman who lives in America. She's a journalist. She's the wife of Barry Allen, the niece, the aunt to Wally West, and so on. There's no reason why she couldn't be black or Asian or Middle Eastern or Latina, but here's something I will say. You take a character like Black Panther, who is rooted in African culture, you cannot make him white. That is completely inappropriate. But for example, I remember when they were creating War Machine, the creator, I don't remember who the creator was, but he said something about like how he had written the character, but he didn't have an image in his mind what he had to look like, so he made him black. Because nothing about Rhodey says that he has to be white or this. Like he could be from any culture, and the reason also why I think a lot of studios now these days are doing it is because we do need the real world looks like people like me, we exist. Women like Candace Patton, they exist. We need to reflect on what the world actually looks like, because otherwise, very few will get to see themselves.
I also wanted to make a point. I know what he was saying by the censoring. It's sexual. He meant
okay.
But your point still stands. But
yeah,
my thing is this: there's been changes throughout the years, not just comic book characters in general, with characters being rewritten. They're always making shifts or changes or trying to do something different with the character, with their origin or whatever that makes them different than what they were before. It happens. And I get your point, but they're still making new characters all the time in DC and Marvel. They're always coming up with new characters. There's always going to be new writers and new people coming in that are working on stuff. So there's always going to be new stories with different characters and new characters being added in. So, okay, so he actually went on to say, my issue is that when these changes are made, my writers seem to make that change all the characteristics. Basically,
I agree. That I agree. I don't like when if they turn a character gay and then the entire story is just like, look how gay I am, gay. Like that for me is offensive, because that means that you're stereotyping my community by defining them by their sexuality, not by who they are, you're not defining by their actions, and that's what. So I can understand. Yeah, I don't think this is a bad thing he's bringing up, and like as long as like it doesn't like rub you in the face of like, look how gay he is or she is. Then
I it doesn't matter to me
who
they like or don't like. It doesn't really matter to me. Because this isn't racism is the issue. The sexuality changes where I want to admit it's a comment. Whenever a change like this is made, certain writers make that change all that characteristic.
Yeah, and I'm glad you said certain right, not all right, because I think there's some great writers out there who have like like they make it part of their character journey, but they're not saying like like look how bisexual Tim Drake is, for example, or like look how gay Iceman is, or something like Craig was bringing up in the chat. So yeah, like let's bring this up from Craig. There was an Iceman comic where they made it all he is, and the Superman Son of Kal-El comic seemed to just be about him being gay now too, and that I think it limits the story.
And that's kind of a thing to where there's a difference between it's a part of them versus that's all they want you to focus on. And if it's a part of who they are, all right, like just give me a story. But like you said, if there's the Iceman comic where that the focus is just exactly on his sexuality, same thing with the Son of Kal-El. I mean, literally, that's all even for Jonathan. Where's the story?
And I will add this though. I think that, for example, if you have someone like because I know Tim Drake did come out as bisexual recently. I haven't read said comic, but for example, something I think would be important to explore, because we've seen now. No, Jake, I think you did fine, because you're not attacking anyone or you're not saying anything offensive. You're saying that you don't want the first of all, as a member of the LGBT community, I don't see you as homophobic. I see you as someone who's like trying to say that you want to see any character be defined by who they are, not just by their sexuality. You don't want to be you're talking about the great concept of labels. Like just like I don't just want to have a label on my head like bisexual Persian. No, I want people to like know me for my work, for my podcast, for my articles, for my interviews and stuff. I don't want to be known as the brown bisexual Persian with Asperger's. So I think you're fine. But like if, for example, with Tim, he comes out as bisexual. I think, and because we've seen how long has he existed for, like 50, 60 years, I think it's fine if we do like 6 issues where he explores sexuality, he talks to people about like, who lives, like his friends, his family, and the person he's in love with. I think that's great, but it doesn't make it all about him being bisexual, because we've seen 70 years of history where he has been able to be Robin, Red Robin, Drake. I cannot believe that was a nickname for him temporarily. So, sorry, I interrupted you. What were you going to say?
I was wanting to bring up a point, because we're not saying don't represent anybody. I'm doing, like, literally, Andy's made several points about the fact that, representation does matter, but it doesn't need to be like the main, like representation needs to happen because the world is full of different people and everybody needs to be there. And it's not a problem. It's the fact that if that's all you're doing and that's the main focus, is just exactly how great you're representing everybody, then where's the story? Because we're talking about comics. We're not talking about like, other things. Okay. As well. And he's gone. He's out. He'll be back. He's going to the bathroom. But yeah. I think everybody pretty much understands where he's coming from. Jake and I appreciate you being honest, and thank you for the big super chat. Thank you so much for supporting, and glad you're here, man. His first time as Robin was the first DC comic I ever bought. Does that mean I'm 60? No, I think it's how long he's just been character. It all comes down to exactly. That's at the end of the day, that's the important thing. How is it structured? If your focus is just like, look how great we are because we're representing, and that's all your story is just how we're representing people now, and we're changing people's sexuality, but there's no actual story, like the focus is just on exactly all the changes you made, then yeah. But that's just, that's just me. But yeah, I think it's good. We're getting into some discussions.
Hi. Jennifer was asking if we've answered her super chats. Let me go through them quickly, Jennifer. See, because I think we answered all of them. Did we talk about?
Oh, we did this one. No.
Okay.
Sorry,
Jennifer.
It takes place after Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, Children of the Dead. Oh, okay. I think I've heard of this one. Yeah, I have a ton of Legends Star Wars books back there. I have the Darth Bane. I think it's Darth Bane trilogy. I think it's back there. I have the James Luceno Darth Plagueis that unfortunately did not get put into canon, even though it came out right before they decided to go everything canon from a certain point on. And I got a couple other books that are not canon. I think I have like a Darth Maul book that's not canon either that I really wanted to read. Here we go. Many writers have sacrificed representation for a compelling story. I think if you want to do representation, you want to focus, I think there should be a balance, but also don't let your representation or the fact that you're changing a lot of aspects of a character to take over so much of the story. I think that's kind of what we're getting at. It needs to be there. Because like Andy was saying, years ago when these characters were created, a lot of these characters, there was a lot of things they were not allowed to do with these characters. So now,
it wasn't so much about allow it. It was more about corporate structure, which is still a problem today, believes that this is what appeals to consumers. They think that no one wants to read about some Muslim Pakistani like Miss Marvel. No one wants to read about a Batman who's black in the future, or no one wants to read about Chang-Chi or whatever and so on. So that's why we would see a lot of stereotypes, horrible stereotypes be made to minority communities. So it's not about like really allowing. It's about the only thing that wasn't allowed was people of said communities and minorities actually get a chance to write these books. Because like some of the biggest comic book legends guys are mostly white straight men.
Well, I think what I was like, maybe I misworded it. I think it's about allow. It's about what would sell. What are people used to? Like, what is the norm in terms of writing characters? And so now things have changed. And plus, you can go back and read that old stuff if you want to. It's not like it's available for you. They're constantly reprinting that stuff and putting it into omnibuses, or you can get digital copies of stuff. Okay, look at the X-Men during the first few decades. You have someone from Russia, Africa, Germany, Canada. There was a number of diversity even in comics back then, but it was written well. Good point. And also the whole thing about the X-Men too. a lot of people now are like saying, "Well, the X-Men are going woke. X-Men 97 is going to go woke," and it's like, okay,
it was woke back in the 90s, y'all.
that's the thing. Like, if you watch the original show, it's about representation. It's about everybody being okay with one another. And if you read the comics based on the characters, it's the same exact thing.
Yeah,
but of course, people are like,
mutants are a metaphor for minorities. For like being judged for let's take someone like Beast, who he is one of the smartest people on the planet, but people fear him because he's blue, big, and hairy. They think he's a monster, when in fact he can contribute to society. But because they look on the cover of the book, not what's inside, they are making judgments. So, it's been an entire time. We have a super chat from Jennifer. Did you hear about the report that in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness there was a film ghostwriter scene that was cut? We talked about this last week a little bit, that like since the movie has come out, a lot of scoopers have come out saying that there was these cameos cut and these cameos cut and so on. And until Sam Raimi or Kevin Feige says something himself, take it with a massive ass grain of salt. So but thank you for your question, Jennifer.
Like, it's a whole thing to where I just don't believe they'd cut Ghost Rider if they actually had him in the movie. I just don't believe all that stuff unless Kevin Feige comes out and says, "Oh, we had plans." Because there's a difference between they had plans versus they actually shot it and they cut it. If they had plans, that's different. But if they never got to shoot it, then it is what it is. Jon Snow rules. I hate people calling She-Hulk woke because it's a woman. I love female heroes, and that's where some complaints come in. Yeah, I've seen that, and I feel like it's just because of the typical fashion. Everyone going, it's the MCU nonsense, and I feel like that's where this whole thing's coming from, and it's really ridiculous. Because I feel if She-Hulk was a movie that came out before Captain Marvel, no one would have an issue. But as soon as Brie Larson shows up in Captain Marvel, everybody changes their opinion on the MCU and how it's going woke. But it's like, guys, have you never read a Marvel comic book? They've always been woke. A lot of those characters and a lot of those storylines back then that you are referenced in the movies, yeah. Like, God, come on. I feel like people are just like, they just don't care about the source material. They're just like, oh, okay,
I will add something.
It's not the same.
I will add something. When this might get a little, it will be very emotional, but I think for some of my fellow viewers in the chat who are from LGBT and who are people of color, I think you understand this perfectly. When those sides say that putting any of us who isn't a white straight male, that it's a woke thing, it's a soldier's war thing, you're essentially saying that we shouldn't exist. You're saying essentially that by putting two Persian siblings on the show like tomorrow, two Persian Muslim superheroes on the show like tomorrow, you're saying that it's woke, as in it's just it's a political move. You're not because you don't say this about white heroes. As soon as they're white straight males, then they get to do it's cool, it's awesome, like woohoo, they're badass. But like when we do it, it's just it's woke, it's SJW. You're saying that we should not exist on screen because you don't think of us as real. When you say that two men kissing each other on screen, that is SJW, it's woke. You're saying that our love doesn't matter, that because we're not a straight woman and a straight male, that we don't deserve to be in love, we don't deserve to have a happy ending, we don't deserve to get married, we don't deserve to have a family of our own. That's what you're saying. When you say that it's woke for a movie like Black Panther that did over $1 billion at the box office, you say that it's woke by saying that, you're saying that using Africa that they shouldn't use African culture, they shouldn't use Wakanda, they shouldn't explore that territory because it's somehow getting a message. No, it's just showing different places in the world where where there's heroes all around us just as much as there's villains, and we all look different, we have different orientations, we have different skin color, we have different ethnic backgrounds. So when you say woke, and you're basically saying you shouldn't exist. You shouldn't get to be in this. You should not get to be a badass. You shouldn't get to be powerful. You shouldn't get to be beautiful. You shouldn't be appealing or desirable. And that has, for 25 years of my life, I'm turning 29 this year, but I still deal with racism on a regular basis and homophobia. And it's like, because you don't see a lot of men like me, for example, in the DC TV Arrowverse community. There's like especially amongst us journalists, not many of us when you're saying that it's just a woke move or social warrior, you're saying that we shouldn't get to exist. We shouldn't get to have the same opportunity as someone who just happens to be white and straight and a man, because for millennia that's what we've been used to through storytelling. Most powerful men in the most powerful people in history usually are white males, and that's just my 2 cents on it. Like, that's not 2 cents. That's my thesis, yeah. So just think about it. Think about it for a moment. Just think about it for a moment. Next time someone and I'm not talking to our viewers, our amazing open-minded viewers. I'm talking to people who, I've been given a lot of hate lately, and I know why. And it's not fun. It is not fun because we exist. We have always existed. We're going to continue to exist, and we deserve to stay. We equal opportunities. That's what we all deserve.
Well, it's a thing too here about where Defunct says here, it can be a bit embarrassing for these being represented to be represented via badly written stuff. It can perpetuate negative stereotypes. That's a good point as well. You got to make sure if you're going to do representation, it's got to come across. It shouldn't push negative stuff or negative stereotypes or whatever. So bug in here. People who constantly say woke are just stupid and annoying. I agree with that aspect because it's a buzzword now. People use that. It's a buzzword. Thank you for the super chat, Jennifer. Favorite clone from the Clone Wars? Mine is 5 or Heavy. I think 5s is a good one. But yeah, good question. I mean, Heavy was definitely fun. I showed over time just got really sad because they kept killing off the clones. Killing. I agree with this. Andy speaking truth again, so people are just dumb. I agree. Let's see here. People got mad at Black Panther for being centered in African culture when Wakanda is based in Africa. Exactly. Triple X saying it's ridiculous to me because in phase 1, 2, and 3, you have all these complaints that there's not enough female heroes in the MCU, and now they do it, and people are complaining. Just don't. That's what I don't understand too. It's like literally I understood the criticism because there wasn't a lot of female superheroes in the MCU. There wasn't that many. Now that they're bringing them in, people are like, oh, it's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. 100%, Andy. As a 45-year-old, I can say that it's tiring to see the back steps we seem to be taking in terms of acceptance. Sometimes I think I might be back in the 90s, but without the cool stuff. I hear you. On that. I feel like with what Andy was saying, just in general, I feel like it's getting to a point where either things have to just start getting better, or it's just that there's going to be this real big divide with the world, because at the end of the day, we have to just accept that whatever you think and whatever you believe is not what everyone else agrees with. It just is what it is. And if you can't accept people for who they are, you can't accept people for their beliefs, their religion, whatever it is, then that's on the individual. It's not on anybody else, because everyone deserves to have a life and to do what they want to do with their life. Obviously not breaking the law, like in terms of like killing people and all that shit. But you get my point.
Let's move on. From this. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate. I see what you guys are saying. Let's move on to something. I'm scrolling through the chat. Justin does bring up a good point. I knew about it. There's one final break for Super Lois. They pushed back the finale. I'm sorry, Jordan.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, then let's talk about something fun. Let's look in the chat, find something, something fun. This will. I mean, not that I will want to make fun of this, but Happy Day, Riverdale's finally ending. Yay, Nightmare's finally over. Sorry, Riverdale. You will have to take the slam for a second, Riverdale. It's fine. Where are your Multiversus videos? You talked about Multiversus. I don't know what it is. It's a part of
it's a game.
Universe.
Yeah.
It's a game. Um,
Yeah.
um,
I have the closed alpha. I'm playing. I have it on PS5, and I've been playing it a little bit. I've played as Wonder Woman, Shaggy, and it's gonna take a little bit to get to Batman. You gotta like
it's so crazy. Like all of them are together.
Did you see the cinematic trailer that came out a couple of days ago? The cinematic trailer for it.
I have not. How about we react to it together?
You want to? We can watch it. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's watch it.
I'm sorry, guys. This always gets to me because let's answer the super chat quickly while you look up the video. Thank you, Jennifer. Jennifer, I could hug you if it weren't a pandemic. This is sad, but what we're talking about, I think we should. This is sad, but what we're talking about, I think I should talk about it. I was walking out of a convenience store. An old white man kicked a black man out. I tried to talk to the man, but he just wanted to be left alone. Yeah.
It's unfortunate. A lot of that stuff happens in the world, and I think it's always been happening because people are like, oh, it's an uprising. People have cameras now. People just see people are speaking up more now, and that's really ridiculous. And you can tell why that guy kicked him out. We know why he did. Clearly, like that's just ridiculous. That's really stupid. While you're pulling that thing up, or do you have it pulled up?
No, I was waiting for you to pull up so I could answer the question. I can.
If you play, you're going to be able to have the audio.
Okay, so they won't hear it.
Oh, if you pull it up, they can hear it. Yeah, that's what I was saying. If you pull up the audio, so people can actually hear the audio.
But are we allowed to for the whole trailer?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna get a strike though, right?
No, that's good.
Okay, let me just turn off something on my end.
While you're pulling it up, how was Ben 10? Amazing Webhead was really interesting.
Is a new reaction tomorrow?
Sunday. I watched it today. Jordan, which one would you rewatch on a $10 million bet? Riverdale Legends. Oh God, I'd rather watch Riverdale.
Is it like 2 minutes and 49 seconds or something?
I believe it should say we're in it together or something.
You're with me.
Yeah, I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay, let's see. What do
we go?
Video. Let's see. Share screen.
Yep.
Click on that. Do I click on video or do I click on like tab? No, wait. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, let's see.
There it is.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just play a few seconds, see if everyone hears it first. So, could you hear that?
No.
Are you able to hear that?
No. Can't hear it.
Okay, hold on. I'm doing something wrong. Stop screen.
Yeah, something's up.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, no, it's like I always mess up when it comes to StreamYard.
Is Umbrella Academy basically Legends? No, not really.
Let's try that. Let's try this.
Yes.
Okay. Let's
full screen that up.
Take that off. Turn on the highest quality.
Let's do it.
Endless multiverse reaction to.
Yeah, it's good.
Endless multiverse reaction to Multiversus.
It's a good trailer.
Yeah. Strange energy signature detected.
Computer, what's my location?
Computer.
Dude, what's going on here?
Do I ship them? Maybe. Oh my god, that was a close up.
Where am I?
Arya Stark.
Who's that?
Look out!
Hey!
Wait, hold on. Let me lower the volume a little bit. Not the sound. Oh my god! Animal abuse, but okay. Oh my! What in the name of sanity is this?
Not cool.
Who's that?
Whoa!
I don't know.
That was messed up how that thing.
Just wait. Here we go.
Yes. Please tell me it's Tara Strong.
Yeah,
Please.
It's Tara.
This is the. What is happening right now?
It's good.
You do not do it to Tasmania. Hell no.
Look out below!
What is this?
There we go.
I don't know what's happening here, but this looks like a job for.
Iron Giant!
Yep.
Oh my
God! They're together! Oh my god, do you know how long I've waited to see these two together?
Look at this line up here.
One of them. I don't know half of the characters. It's already closed.
No, I have the alpha right now. I have the I can play it.
Oh fuck you. No.
Hey, look, that's my reaction right there. Boom in the top left. Boom.
Oh, look at the I will put the link in the show notes because we talked about it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
I'm glad you liked it. I'm glad you liked it. There's people been data mining the files of the game, and they found a bunch of characters that have not been confirmed yet that are in the game apparently.
But I want to play this. I didn't know this game existed.
It's fun. I'm now allowed to talk about it. I played the first beta that was closed on PC months ago. I played a little bit of it. I wasn't allowed to talk about it because NDA for some stupid reason. But they had the closed.
Welcome
alpha.
to my life.
The closed alpha. I'm liking the closed.
They're opening the beta in July. They're opening the beta in July, bitch. They're opening the beta in July. Okay. First of all, where the fuck is the Flash? We need to have the Flash in this.
The Flash is in data mining. He's going to be appearing. He's not officially announced, but they also found Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. They found Harry Potter, Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. I think they also wait. Where's the link? I can hold on.
That is amazing.
Multiverses leaked roster. Okay, bro.
Okay, that was great. Okay.
So, leaked characters: the Joker, Marvin the Martian, LeBron James, because he's from Space Jam 2.
Oh, right.
Nubia, Raven, Gandalf, Legolas, Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty, Morty from Rick and Morty, Cromulon, Rick and Morty, Fred Flintstone, Johnny Bravo, Mad Max, Ben 10, Godzilla, King Kong.
Of course, why not?
Now, this was written months ago. Iron Giant was in the data mine. That pretty much confirms this is real because Iron Giant is now confirmed. Also, they had said something earlier about Tasmanian Devil, Taz, and he's in that trailer. That because Iron Giant and Taz and Velma in that trailer, like those were characters that were not announced when they first announced this game. Neo from the Matrix, Scorpion and Sub-Zero from Mortal Kombat, Gizmo from Gremlins, Emmett, I guess it's like from the Lego movie or something, or Back to the Future reference. They don't know for sure, but yeah, there's a ton of characters that are coming to this game. And I believe I saw somewhere else where someone had mentioned the Flash was in there as well.
They better have the Flash. We have some super chats to answer. In season 2 of the Batman, a very important character shows up, and I think you will love it.
I'm loving the show. I watched the season 2 premiere.
I'm trying to remember who shows up. From Jay, I want to thank you both for being able to discuss things like this civilly and not reacting emotionally when me or someone else shares their standpoint. Our subjective, it's fun to compare. Well, the thing is, you weren't offensive. You were like, you brought up an important issue that listen. I, as a journalist and a podcast of color and a bisexual on that matter, I agree. I want to see, representation, but I don't want to see it tasteless. Like I want to things like and I think that's why sometimes when studios hire writers or producers that aren't really, that aren't really from those communities and don't know how it's like to be like that, they will overdo it sometimes because they think that's what the audience of those minorities wants, but that's not really the truth. And even people like Middle Eastern writers who write for Middle Eastern characters, sometimes they lean in too much on various stereotypes or whatnot, or like too much of just, like, look how Persian I am, look how Arabic I am, and so on. That's, we don't want it to define us too much. Like, we want it to be like acknowledged. Like, for example, something we saw in The Flash this week that, Eric Wall, I asked Eric Wallace months ago, like, are we going to hear about Nora's sexuality at some point when she comes back? And he said, yeah, in HFC you'll see. And they confirm in this episode that in sometime in the future, Nora will be married and have a wife. But they didn't make a big deal out of it. Like, Barry didn't, like, like, oh, you're gay, or like, oh, you're this, and so, like, he's like, I will say this, for everyone who always gives me shit, like, oh, we're clapping on Oliver and Arrow. One of Stephen Amell's best scenes in the entire series of Arrow is in season 8. It's the episode where grown-up William and Mia are, and Connor are in the present, their past, I guess, and William, as a grown-up now, who I haven't seen his father since he was 14, he takes a moment to sit down with Oliver and say, there's something I want to tell you. I'm gay. And Steven breaks out into a smile, and Oliver is so happy for his son and so proud that he can be open about this, and says, I know. I don't know how he and Felicity somehow knew, based on whatever interaction they had with William when he was just a teenager, that, oh, you're gay, but we want you to come to us. But either way, I cried. I mean, I cried for personal reasons, because that's not the reaction my dad gave when I came out. We're good. He's got a lot better with it. But it was, I had never been so jealous to get a reaction from Oliver in that way. But it was like, they didn't overdo it. They didn't rub it in your face. They made it, they made it casually. So it's fine. We can have these type of discussions and see, like, no one got hurt, no one got angry, no one started saying, fuck you. I mean, I say fuck you to Jordan because he's trolling tonight a lot. But I'm kidding. In all honesty, we're having a serious discussion. And no, like, we stop it. We have a super chat. I guess it's for you. Would you ever start watching The Boys again?
No. No. Okay, so I think it's time for us to wind down, because we've passed 10 minutes after we said we were going to wind down.
Okay.
It's all
Can
good.
we just 5 more minutes? And then at the top of the hour.
Okay.
Let's go through and see what.
Triple X. Thank you.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, go check it out.
Also, your interview was great as Triple X also said your interview was great as well.
Thank you. I'm glad people were happy. Not everyone was, but I don't care about them. I care about people who actually were happy. This is a good question. In Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, about how did Doctor Strange remember Spider-Man? Now, here's the thing. Everyone forgets about Peter Parker being Spider-Man. They don't forget about Spider-Man actually existing, because also Steven is in New York. So he's probably obviously going to see him swing through and be like, who's that guy?
Yeah, they also made a point, like, he doesn't know it's Peter. He knows of Spider-Man. So, yeah. What story would you want to see in the Game of Thrones universe? For me, it's the Doom of Valyria, the first long night in the story of Aegon's conquest. He built the Iron Throne. I think it'll be interesting to see those stories, but I would like a story we don't know. Like, we have no context of. We have no idea of what it is. That'd be interesting to see. But first, we got to get George to finish the damn books first. That's what we need to actually the damn story. Thank you for the super chat, Jennifer. Do you guys like the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise? I love the films and sad that Johnny Depp will never come back to play any of them again. Yeah, I like the films. I think
I never watched them, so honestly,
I think the fourth film I think is the weakest in my opinion. But I overall enjoyed the franchise. They definitely get a little weird at times, but then again, the whole franchise is weird. But yeah, I'm glad that at least we got 5 with that cast.
Andy, wait, hold on. Andy, thank you for the super. Andy, do you mind if we call you in the circle as well? I mean,
yes, precious, or me. Gollum. No, shut up. I'm talking to him. No, I'm talking to him. He's my friend. You don't have any friends.
So, yeah, you can call me Andy Circle if you want to.
He's shitting his pants right now. Well, yeah, I think everyone feels indifferent about a lot of franchises, but I mean, I think overall,
how many movies did they like? Was it 4? 5? Okay.
They had a pretty significant gap between 3 and 4 in terms of release, and also between 4 and 5, because I think the third film came out in 2006, and 2011 was the fourth film. 2017 was the fifth film. So there's been a pretty big break. Here's an interesting question. Does Steven remember that he used to know who Spider-Man was? I don't think so. I don't think it goes that deep. I don't think he remembers that.
I think if I had to guess, I think they've all forgotten that they knew. I think they all still used to work with Spider-Man. I think they know that, but I don't think they know that it was a teenager behind that mask this entire time. I think they're like for them, they're like Spider. Like, I think I don't know. That's something I hope they explore in future movies.
Yeah.
What does he got in his pockets?
Do you like my Gollum?
I didn't know what that comment was, so I didn't click on it. But I'm glad you. Cause I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Pockets.
Don't you understand? Like,
Pockets.
I get that point. I was like, "What?"
Ask us a question. Ask us a question, Jordan.
2 plus nothing.
7.
7.
Oh, super chat.
I clicked on Charlie's question first. Hold on. What character interactions do you want to see between Flashman, Lois, and Stargirl? I would like all three to cross over. That'd be fun, especially Flash and Stargirl. Tonal wise, that'd be great.
And let's bring Jessie Quick from the Stargirl universe. Let's reveal that she's been alive this whole time.
Same actor. I'm guessing same actor.
Of course, Violet Beam was always amazing as Jessie Quick, and we also have we don't have those showrunners anymore. So
favorite horror movie of all time might either the 1980s, The Thing, or Batman and Robin. Thank you, Jennifer. That was fun.
I was like, I saw that about favorite movies and like horror. Favorite horror. I got into horror movies late in my life. I like the unfriended movies. It's kind of like a new type of horror movie genre, but I like them. But
well, I understand her point about favorite horror movie because I agree with Batman and Robin.
Suit me up, Uncle Alfred.
That's a scary scene.
That is
scary.
Oh, well, Craig brings up a funny point, and this will be the last comment we bring up, guys. LOL, I would like to lowest acknowledge to car exists. Me too, Todd Helbing. Me too.
Perfect. Love it. Thank you guys so much for supporting Endless Multiverse number 15. We thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to everybody who was here giving us super chats, questions. We thank you guys so much for watching the show, giving your input during the topics. And we also want to thank you guys for the pretty deep discussion we had this evening in the Q&A portion. We want to thank you guys all for being civil, and we're all having a discussion. We may have different opinions, but at the end of the day, we're here to talk and just have a good time, and as long as we can be civil during discussions where we disagree, it is all good. Hope everybody's doing well. It is a Friday evening. It's pretty late. I do really like 1980s The Thing, though. Awesome. That's great, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Later, guys, I'm going to Comic-Con tomorrow. Awesome. You're meeting Tara Strong? That's awesome. Let her know.
Have fun. I've heard she's a wonderful person, so have fun.
Thank you guys so much for being here. And as you know, every single time we do a show, we have this one clip we have to play to end the show. Cicada, take it away.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
Don't believe him, Grace.
I'm like you guys can't see me, but Jordan can see me. Like in the bottom bar of the stream, you're like I'm reacting like metahumans kill your parents, Grace. They all deserve to die. Don't believe him, Grace.
I could have easily cut that "Don't believe him, Grace" part out, but I had to keep it in.
Wait, shit, hold on, Craig. Are you for real? Wow, dude.
Nice.
You've never told me that story. Jennifer,
thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate it so much.
My mom was totally named. Oh no.
We gotta play it again. Damn it.
Metas killed your parents, Gracie. They all deserve to die.
Don't believe him, Grace.
Imagine Cicada showing up in the Fox mom's kitchen or something and be like, "Metahumans killed your parents." Like, who are you? How did you get into my house?
Thank you guys so much for being here. Bye, everybody. Bye.
I want.